Some of us who've been riding mountain bikes for a little while maybe think that we know it all, like what bikes and what gear is the best, who's the best pros, and the only places that it's worth riding your mountain bike. The truth is, it's different for everybody. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. And whilst we might think we'd be helping newer mountain bikers by giving them some advice, sometimes it's wrong. And here is some of the worst advice I've ever heard. Just send it, the classic line we've all heard. We've all probably said to ourselves as well. I think sometimes it does have its uses, probably internally if you're saying it to yourself, because sometimes you need that extra bit of a push. You might like roll up something 10 times, think, I know I can do this, but you know, you keep riding out and think, oh, I just don't want to. Sometimes just telling yourself to send it will work, but as a piece of advice to someone else, I think that can be dangerous because you don't know how they're feeling. You don't know if they can send it. They might be having a really bad day. So just telling someone else to just send it maybe isn't the best piece of advice. You don't want it coming loose, just do it up really tight. I think we've all done that. I definitely have done that when I started riding, especially the stem. Yes, you don't want it coming loose because that would be bad news, but I have pulled the threads out of an Azonic Shorty, which is an expensive stem back in the day. If you look closely on the side of most stems or most components on your bike, actually it'll give you a torque rating. It says 6 Newton meters. And I know from using my torque wrench, that isn't very tight at all. So you do risk ripping out the threads, especially if you're using sort of expensive components as well. You don't want to over stress these things. So you'll get used to it. My advice is definitely buy yourself a cheap torque wrench because they'll be really helpful. Once you've sort of got the hang of it all, you probably don't need to use it all the time, but some components, especially if I'm changing bearings out on my suspension, I will definitely make sure I torque them up right. Also, my piece of good advice, well at least I hope it is, if you're working on something like a stem where you've got multiple bolts, especially on the side, we've got 2 pinch bolts going the other way, do them a bit at a time. Don't just crank that one up to the right torque and then do the other one. Do it a bit, and then finally finish off with the right torque on both. Let the bike do the work. That could be something you hear a pro coach say to an athlete that they know really well. They know their riding style, they know how to sort things out. But actually from one rider to another on the trail, I think that is kind of dangerous advice because no matter how good your bike is, it could still be set up wrong. And a place like this where it's really technical, you know, you could be riding magic carpet and it's not going to help you get through this. So that piece of advice is only going to suit some riders some of the time. It can be pretty dangerous. Just lean back. I think everyone's probably heard that one. When it comes to riding steep sections like this one here, kind of getting your weight back, yes, that's the right advice, but I've seen this go wrong in a few different ways. First one is where people will just put all the weight back, arms go straight, so weight comes completely off the front wheel, and then that can slide if you're braking too hard. Or even sometimes people loop out, they hit the bottom of the steep bit and they're still really far back, and the front wheel comes light and there's a crash. But this is a good example because this is where I will get my weight back, but also low. So I'm dipping my heels to the back of the bike, hips to the back, seat down, but also keeping some bend in my arms because I want to push the front wheel in. If I'm sort of maxed out my arms, then I can't control that front wheel. So it's a case of getting low, head up, heels down, seat down out of the way, and then you can control the steep section. If you can visualize it, then you can do it. Not exactly true. I sometimes watch videos like Fabio Wimden and think, oh, probably, you know, I could see how that would feel, how that might be possible, but it doesn't mean that I can do it. Even riding stuff like this, where it's super technical, you think, it's really good to have a look and think, yeah, that's what it's gonna feel like, but it just isn't confirmation that you can do it. Speed is your friend. Well, actually, sometimes it can be. This is quite a good example. It's kind of a really chattery section, loose as well. If I bomb through here, I'm just not going to drop in the holes as much, it's going to smooth it out. Or maybe a technical climb, another one where you just need the extra bit of momentum to get up there. But speed can become the enemy really quick, like this section. This is fine, bomb through here, that'd be great. But actually down there is a really steep, loose corner with a big bush on the outside, which if I was going too fast, definitely a crash. So rarely is more speed the answer to just getting through stuff. Something like a gap jump as well. Some parts of the trail just have a right speed that you need to just stick to. Going faster, is not going to help you there. It's only a short ride, you won't need anything. Well, eventually that'll bite you. I've always been told that anything over half an hour's worth of exercise and you'll need some water to take with you, otherwise you'll really start to feel it. But also, you know, you start going a bit further, you'll find that you definitely will need some tools and spares to just repair emergencies out on the trail. You don't want to be walking back. In fact, I did do that last weekend. I went for quite a short ride, got a puncture, didn't have the bits with me. And I spent about half an hour walking. So for me, sometimes if I know I'm not going very far, I won't take very much, but I'll always take a drink. And for anything over, let's say, sort of 15 kilometers, I'll definitely start taking lots of spares with me. Go hard or go home. While plenty of people have gone hard and then gone home in an ambulance, so that's not really great advice. And it kind of isn't really advice anyway, is it? But sometimes it might just be a day where you're not feeling it. We've all been there, I'm sure, where you're thinking, today's not the day to be hitting that jump, that massive jump for the first time, or just, you know, it's time to just chill, maybe go and have a coffee, have a chill ride, whatever. Same as kind of, if you're not crashing, then you're not trying hard enough, because crashing a lot is not good. It's going to dent your confidence, can hurt you, can smash your bike up as well. So if you're crashing a lot, take a step back, have a look at why you're crashing. You might be riding over your skill level, riding too fast, or something needs addressing. Try and take a step back, get that nailed, and then get your confidence building again. There you go. If any of your friends start hitting you up with some riding advice, then take it with a pinch of salt. They're some of the worst things I've heard. There are some other classics like, hang on, I'll get my camera out, or no, you should hit that just one last time. That's a classic. Anyway, let us know the worst piece of advice you've ever heard. Comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you hate people that gives you bad advice. And of course, subscribe if you want more mountain bike videos.